From SNY.TV, headline, close to majors, Mets pitching prospect Mike Vasil benefiting from team's new pitching lab. Quote, I am moving better, and my stuff is just sharper, Vasil told SNY. Now, before we get into this video, I need you to hit that subscribe button so you know what's going on with Mets, the prospects, and everything in between. When Mets president of baseball operations David Stearns talks about giving runway to young talent, we often correlate to opportunities for Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos to establish themselves as part of the future of the lineup. However, it's also important to include prospects not ticketed for the opening day roster, but who will want to get a look at to find out if they are a factor for the 2025 team. In 2024, the starting pitching depth has familiar names like Tyler McGill, Joey Lucchesi, and Jose Butto, as well as newcomer Max Kranick. But the minor league system is at the point where young pitchers are on the verge of making an impact at the big league level. Those prospects will be able to make their case to be part of the 25 rotation, which as of now could have as many as 4 openings with the pending free agencies of Luis Severino, Jose Quintana, Adrian Hauser, and possibly Sean Manaea, who has an opt-out after the 2024 season. One of those prospects is Mike Vasil, who made it to the AAA level in 23 and recognizes the opportunity in front of him. Quote, obviously it's a little bit different than your first season, Vasil told SNY. The reality is a lot closer than this year's past. After posting a 3.71 ERA and 10 starts with AA Binghamton last season, Vasil received a promotion to AAA Syracuse, where he struggled out of the gate, in part due to an adjustment to going from normal umpiring to the automated ball strike system that is in place during most days in AAA. What I found difficult was the top of the zone, Vasil said. I had focused on throwing strikes at the top of the zone the offseason prior. It was more of me competing with myself. He made improvements as the season went on, including taking a no-hitter into the 9th inning in August against Scranton. And 3 of his last 6 starts, Vasil tossed at least 6 innings and allowed 2 runs or fewer. Vasil is likely to be joined in the AAA rotation by fellow members of the Mets 21 draft class, Christian Scott and Dominic Hamill. He joked that Scott and Hamill have both won Organizational Pitcher of the Year awards, and he is the odd man out in that regard. However, there are more things that they have in common. Quote, each one of us is really unique in what we do, but we have similar pitches on the mound so we can have conversations, he said. Off the field, we are good friends, and I hope one day we can all be in the big leagues at the same time. That would be special. One of the big things that you have seen written about and spoken about on the Mets pod is the recently formed pitching lab in Port St. Lucie. The pitching lab was opened last summer, and Vasil was among many arms who visited and was blown away. He went down to St. Lucie after his final start of the season, and his first reaction was, whoa, what is this place? The Mets hooked him up to sensors all over his body, and they got the biomechanical data in his delivery. After this session, Vasil got with pitching and performance integration coordinator Kyle Rogers, who helped design his off-season plan and what he can do mechanically to not just potentially increase the ceiling of his velocity, but also raise the floor. Not only is the pitching lab a tool to help increase velocity, maybe some spin rates and secondary pitches, but there is also an objective to help keep pitchers healthier. Rogers assigned specific drills for Vasil, including his workouts a few times a week in his off-season training, and the early going this spring it has paid dividends. Quote, my velocity is similar to last year, but also feels like I'm recovering better. I'm moving better, and my stuff just as sharper, Vasil said. In talking to scouts, Vasil projects as a high floor number 4 or 5 type starter who can control 4 pitchers. As a former 8th round pick, that is a player development success story, a system that is improving at developing pitchers under the watch of Vice President of Pitching, Eric Jagers. Over the next couple of years, there should be more homegrown pitchers knocking on the big league door, and most expect Vasil to receive that call sometime during the 2024 season. Now, this is the one thing about the Mets farm system right now that's a little behind position players, because the Mets have a lot of good positional, talent, especially in the infield in particular. A lot of shortstops that they're going to have to figure out where they're going to position them moving forward. Like Jet Williams, is he going to be a shortstop? Probably not. probably going to be an outfielder. Luis Angel Acuna is probably going to be a second baseman, if not a backup shortstop. And obviously, the Mets are going to have to figure out where some of these other players down the line are going to fit in. But the pitching is behind all that. Just so you know, the Mets do not have an elite farm system, but they have a lot of depth that they brought in, specifically after the trading deadline last year. But the pitching is thin in general. But they do have prospects that are getting close to the majors. Vasil's the closest one to the majors. Christian Scott's probably the best of them. Dominic Hamill. People have sort of forgotten about Calvin Ziegler, who hasn't pitched much with the Mets. But hopefully they can get him to pitch on a regular basis this year. And the Mets have a lot of sort of bullpen help coming in from the minors. So that'll be something to keep an eye on as we get closer to the season. But let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to Prospect Hut, and I'll see you later.